everyone. Did you know that you can actually apply for a work permit from inside Canada without an LMIA? Now, here's the catch. It's not for everyone. First, there's only a very few people who can actually apply for a work permit from inside Canada. Mostly that's no longer available for those with a visitor status. So you can apply for a work permit from inside Canada if you have a work permit or a study permit, or if your spouse has either a work permit or a study permit. If you don't, then that's one thing to consider. Today we're going to talk about the Francophone Mobility Work Permit. This is a work permit that is employer specific, meaning that you will only be able to work for your specific employer who's going to offer you a position, but the employer would not have to apply for an LMIA. And that's a very positive thing because an LMIA it's a long process and it's very expensive. However, your employer would have to still pay a compliance fee, which is $230, and will have to submit an offer of employment and will still have to comply with the agreed terms of your employment in the same way that he would have been if he had applied for an LMIA. It's just the same as the LMIA. We can even call it a baby LMIA. So it's way faster, it's way cheaper, but the obligations of the employer are still the same. Now, for you to be eligible for this LMIA exemption, there are certain requirements for this specific work permit. So let's go over those requirements. So first, you need to first live and work outside of Quebec. You need to prove that you have a French level of CLB5. That's in speaking and listening. And you need to have a job offer in any tier, with the exception of if it's a tier 4 or 5, then the job cannot be in a primary agriculture occupation. The job does not have to be in French. Now, on top of that, of course, you still need to meet the general eligibility requirements for any work permit, which includes being able to prove to the officer that you will leave Canada. This is just a temporary stay in Canada, and that you also have the skills to perform the duties of the job. And then, of course, there's going to be also this assessment about the job offer, right? So the job offer also has to be genuine, and there's going to be this assessment of what kind of company you're being offered the position in, and is the position a genuine position? And there's going to be also an assessment of your salary. Is it a reasonable salary? That assessment still goes on. So you see, this is just another one of the options that may be available for you to apply for a work permit. Now, you can't apply from inside Canada. That's only limited to a very few circumstances. One of them is if let's say if your spouse has a study permit or a work permit, or if you yourself have a work permit and a study permit and you're just applying to extend that, then you may apply online in Canada. Other than that, you need to apply from outside Canada. So that's something you also need to consider. But there are options out there. And again, French seems to be the key here, as well as with express entry and permanent residence. So I hope this information was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. You can find my contact information at mirhouseImmigration.ca. And thank you.